This is just a little video on the virtue of courtesy. And yes, it is indeed a virtue, and it falls under charity. It's an important part of charity, and it is much neglected virtue, especially today, because people are so caught up in themselves, so caught up in their lives and their needs that they don't think about their neighbor. They don't think about their brother or sister. And that's not what our Lord taught at all. In those days, in his day, um, hospitality, courtesy was sacred. And if you sinned against it, it was considered a scandal. That's why we may not understand from a modern perspective about what happens at Cana, but if you lived then, you would. Um, Jesus' mother went to him because she was concerned for her friends and for scandal coming upon them because they would run out of wine. And it was a wedding feast. And that would show a lack of hospitality. Now, you might say, well, hadn't they had enough wine? But that wasn't the point. The point was it was courtesy, graciousness, and she was the most gracious of ladies, our Lord's mother, absolutely. And so she asked him, she requested on behalf of her friends, who were, of course, his friends too. And he did. He, he conceded. And so, what does this mean? His first miracle wasn't so much about turning water into wine as hospitality, showing hospitality, saving his friends or family from some sort of shame, some sort of scandal. And they would have been scandalized back then. Now I'd say, oh, too bad. There's a bar down the street. I mean, sorry, sorry, no, that was a bit not apropos. But courtesy is essential. When someone shows concern for you and is worried about you, acknowledge it and let them know that you're okay. Um, if someone sends you a text, don't ignore it. Someone calls you on the phone and leaves a message, even if you can't talk right there and then, get back to them one way or another through a message or a text. I understand people are busy and they have lives to live. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you just ignore it, hoping it'll go away, disappear. Why do I think it's so important? Because how we treat those people is how we're treating Jesus. Because Jesus is in all our brothers and sisters. He's in you and he's in me. And if you ignore me, you're ignoring Jesus and me. If I ignore you, the same. If someone comes to your door asking for a cup of water or a cup of sugar, don't ignore them. Don't send them away. That's kind of an extreme case, but it doesn't take that much effort to acknowledge someone. Um, I think even when you're going down the street and you see a neighbor, acknowledge them. Don't pretend they're not there. People are shy, I understand that. But courtesy is good manners. And it's so sorely lacking today because it's not taught. It's certainly not taught to young people. They're taught to be self-centered and selfish, or allowed to be selfish and self-centered. And it's ugly. And we have an ugly society because of it. When I see a young person, and sometimes you'll see little videos where a young person is bothering, say, with an elderly person, helping them across the street or doing a kindness for them. Whether it's staged or not, I don't know. But the point is, it is a little bit uplifting. We should help people across the street when they need help. We should slow down if we see a dog coming out into the road and not just run over the dog. We should return letters. We should return phone calls. We should return text. If someone invites you to your home, invite them back to your home. It's just good manners. And it seems almost dead now. It's like people are too busy. No, never be too busy for Jesus, because that's Jesus knocking on your door. That's Jesus trying to get a hold of you. And especially when I'm worried about someone and they don't respond to a text, don't do that. That's almost cruel. And it doesn't take that much effort. It really doesn't. Do it with a loving heart.